that there, folks.
Alright folks, welcome to Teacher's Corner on CBC. I'm Ron, this is Don, and we're going to start off with this special education book in Ontario schools. Don has it here, and today we're going to be talking about teacher training and education. First of all, we're going to talk about the Hope Commission report in 1960, which put emphasis on special education in Canadian schools.
That's right. Folks, do yourself a favor. Get out there and buy this book. This Hope Commission report in 1960 was revolutionary for our education system in Ontario, and importance today with teacher training. You gotta be on top of this as a teacher, folks. You gotta know your IEPs. You gotta understand your students.
Another mind-blowing fact, actually, Don, is that before 1847, no teacher training was required. Can you believe that?
Unbelievable. Thank goodness Egerton Ryerson founded the league back in 1847 as superintendent of education.
And the next step here was, in 1880, the separation of training between elementary and high school level teachers.
That's right, that's right. 5 months to become a second class teacher, 10 months to become a first class teacher. Crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
Everything like that.
And in the early 1900s, women gained the right to vote and gained more power in the workplace. Also giving them more power in education, which is a great play for the league here.
That's right. That's the way it is. That's the way it's gotta be. They're here to stay.
Alright, and lastly, quickly, Don, we're running out of time here. In the late 1960s, the Hall Dennis report came out, which had to do with student well-being. You could no longer, use the old meter stick and snap it off Johnny's head if he's fooling around. Classroom management became a lot more difficult at this point.
That's right, folks. If you're listening, Hall and Dennis, a bunch of beauties, some good Canadian boys. They focused on well-being, student-centered learning, thinking in inquiry-based classrooms, bunch of beauties.
All right, Don, a couple seconds left here. We're going to cut to a clip of Don and our own Jacques Leroux, the legend himself, and they're going to be doing a clip here you'll see in just a moment from last week.
That's right, Jacques Lemieux, a good Canadian boy.
Leroux, actually.
That's what I said.
Here we go.
What are we rolling? Oh, here's CBC. We got a great interview for you today. We got a good Canadian boy, Jacques Leroux, here with the Toronto St. Pat's. Here we go. I got my jersey on. Here we go. What more do you want? And everything like that. And here we go. We got Jacques Leroux here for an interview. This guy's the best teacher in the league. Here we go. Jacques Leroux, how are you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Yourself, Don?
Oh, a good Canadian day out on the ODR. That's outdoor rink for the Americans and the viewers today out there. So how do you feel about teaching requirements these days, eh? It's a lot of work becoming a teacher compared to 100 years ago, eh?
Well, yeah, they're certainly making a lot of changes to the organization, Don. The whole switching to the 2-year program is going to really make a lot higher standards for future players wanting to enter the organization, unlike myself with only having the 1 year of training before I get qualified to enter the field.
That's right. For you folks who don't know at home, the good Canadian system in Ontario is changing to a 2-year university degree to become a teacher, so they're really beefing up the standards. Speaking of beefing up the standards, how does that affect your resume there, Jacques?
Well, for a member like myself, I'm going to have to spend a lot of my summers training doing ABQs like Safe Talk, for example, really just showing my resume that I have an idea what mental health is all about, and that's really becoming such an important issue in schools today. A lot of special education courses also should really become a main focus, and people like myself that are only here for 1 year, they're going to have to spend their summers doing that, Don.
Yeah, really put the I in the IEP, eh there, Jacques, eh?
Yeah, that's actually one of the perfect saying. It really expresses how I feel as a player.
Yeah. That's the thing, a good Canadian work ethic like there. Always moving forward. Speaking of moving forward, how do you feel about constructivism and student-centered learning compared to the old reading and writing arithmetic?
Well, I think constructivism is really the new reading, writing, and arithmetic teachers are trying to make in their classrooms, and really making student-centered lessons.
Differentiated learning and everything like that.
Accommodation, modification, and that's about where we need to focus right now.
And there you go. You got yourself a good Canadian teacher out there, good Canadian boy and everything like that. And this guy's doing a great job. Here we go to the future Ontario teachers.
Thanks, Don.
And there you have it. There's a clip from last week with Jacques and Don delving deeper into the topic of teacher training in Canada.
Bunch of beauties.
All right, and now our last thing we have time for, Don's going to go further into our teacher spotlight for the day.
Now, folks, one last time for tonight. Focusing on this. Here we got a good Canadian boy. This guy's Dr. Mike Parr, the man, the myth, the legend. North Bay, Ontario, doing great things for our education, eh? Making sure the next year's draft class is ready to roll, ready to be the best teachers this country can produce. Dr. Mike Parr, put her there.
Things are looking good for education in North Bay and in Canada. And that's all we have time for today. I'm Ron, this is Don, and this has been Teacher's Corner on CBC.